before we start making our own patterns, it's a good idea to try and change the patterns on an already existing garment to observe the effect. Now, since the dress right here is a bit more complicated, I will select the patterns, right click and select hide 3D pattern, or just press shift plus Q on my keyboard to hide it. Or right now what I want to change is, let's try to make these sleeves bit shorter. Now, as we went through in previous clips, the transform pattern tool is meant for picking up patterns, position them around the 2D window, rotating it, resizing them, and so on. But we have the other tool, the edit pattern tool, that is meant for picking up lines or points and basically editing our pattern. So we are going to pick up these lines and we are going to push it right up, and as you do that you can go all direction. Of course we don't want that, we want to go straight up, and now we are going to do that. We are going to press shift on our keyboard, so we get a constant that only enable us to go straight up, and we are going to make the sleeves much shorter. Alright, and so we will be able to observe the effect as soon as we hit the spacebar on our keyboard. So we enter in simulation mode. Here we go, and the sleeve is pushed up, and I think we can even make them shorter. Remember to press shift while you do this and keep simulating all the time. Okay, now get rid of this collar right here. So let's take our transform pattern tool again and delete the front color and the back, and let's try to change the overall shape of this shirt by making its collar v-neck. So I am going to take my edit pattern tool, and instead of picking up a line which I did before, just going to pick up these points and push it downward. See, I am already have much different effect that I had in the beginning. Now let's talk about carving our lines. We have two tools available in Marvelous Designer for carving lines, and the first one being the edit curvature tool, and I am going to demonstrate how this looks. This is like a simplify tool. You see, I can easily make curves right here, and if I simulate, you see that it's getting a bit tighter on her along more fitted. And if I use this other tool for curve, that's called edit curvature point tool, you will see that I am going to have much more control over the curve that I am creating, because I am able to put points here to give shape to my curve. See, I can make a very interesting and much more complex curve than with the previous tool, the edit curvature tool. Okay, just on the simulation mode. But of course I don't need this kind of curve for the front pattern. So let's go back with Ctrl Z, and let's just stick with the first pattern we have, and let's carve the back as well with the simplify tool and simulate. See, it's lot more lighter on her. So naturally I could easily remove these sleeves from top, and if I want to do that, I am just going to grab my transform pattern tool and select the sleeves and delete them. Delete the collar also. Now I got no sleeves, but here the shoulder area is too wide, so I am going to pick this point, select this edit pattern tool and pick the shoulder point from the front pattern and also from the back pattern. So both of these points and push them together. Alright, so I get a little more difference here. I can also edit this a bit. Alright, as you can see, we have something completely different that we have in the beginning. So I encourage you to play with this garment as much as you can. After the things, make them shorter, curvier to get a feel for the software. Also try to grab and pull the garments like I am doing right here under the simulation mode to get a feeling of how to manipulate the fabric. Thank you.